We are back with Natalia Thomas. Natalia, good afternoon and welcome to CWS as it is.
Thank you, Selwyn, for having me. Good afternoon.
Natalia, I love your audio. This is awesome.
Great.
So, this question I asked the other two guests about to describe themselves, but I want you to tell me about yourself through the lens of your friends or those that are close to you. How do they generally describe you?
Oh, wow. Thank you for that question, Selwyn. I believe they would describe me as fun, exciting,
Uh-huh.
innovative, and creative person.
And creative.
Very creative person,
Well,
yes.
that speaks a lot to what you do. You are a fashion designer.
Yes, I'm a fashion designer and I am an events planner.
And events. Oh, that's interesting. What is the last event that you planned?
Well, I recently concluded a wedding and we did it in the Promenade Gardens. That was 2 Saturdays ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about uh, how you got involved with fashion. Is it well? How did you get involved with events planning and fashion? What came first?
Well, definitely fashion because that sparked my creativity a whole lot. And ever since I was a little girl, I could remember sketching silhouettes, images of silhouettes on a piece of paper on my back step, and thinking, I wanted to become a fashion designer. But then when I was in high school, I realized that in Guyana at that time, fashion designing was not trending,
Mhm.
and we a lot of people didn't give respect to upcoming fashion designers at that point of time. So I then went into accounting where I didn't feel like that was my thing,
Mhm.
and I then after accounting, I went up for Sonia's Noel's model search and designers portfolio, which gives me that was the best thing that could have happened to me at that point in time.
Awesome. And when you how did you realize that fashion is the thing for you? When did that happen?
Okay, like I realized that since, like I said, as a little girl sketching, I
Mhm.
loved it, and of course my mom was one of my major inspirations because she's so flamboyant. If you see her, oh boy, you wouldn't even believe that she's my mom. But she was the driving force behind my passion, because even though I wanted to give up at times, she would push me, Natalia, go do this. This is you. Get involved in this. And she actually motivated me to enter into the competition with Sonia Noel. And to give you the great news, I won that competition.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And after then, everything just went, I felt as though that was my place.
So, what do you think winning that competition taught you about yourself?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that
What
clearly.
do you think winning that competition taught you about yourself? What did you learn about you?
Well, definitely it helped to boost my confidence because I was very shy. I was very timid, self-reserved. I was afraid to, step out my box. So it really helped me to realize that, on the other side of um, terror, there's where success is.
Ah,
On
so
the other side of terror, that is where success is.
so for those young people who are thinking about getting into the fashion industry or fashion designing, what are like 3 points you have for them? Three advice.
Three advice that I would give to a young individual that wants to become a fashion designer is first and foremost, you must make that first attempt. Don't sit behind your desk or sit in your room and wish. You
Mhm.
you first have to make that attempt to start. So starting is one. Secondly, you will encounter challenges, you will encounter trials and tribulations, but do not give up, because in life, all of the best things are placed on the other side of terror. This is basically trying to say that you will go through all of these things, but in return, you will get that success. And lastly, be the best you.
What is your favorite thing to design?
Well, I love flowy clothing, loose clothing. I'm all for the plus size lady because I'm not no skinny girl, because you know us Caribbean women are very fluffy. And I would say loosey breezy pieces. That's my thing.
You wouldn't happen to have any piece close by that you can show our audience, right?
Actually, no. I should have brought it for you. You know, I forgot.
That's all right. That's okay. Next time.
Definitely.
So I heard about this thing called A1. What is A1? Tell us about that.
Oh wow, A1 is my baby. After I started designing and so forth, I actually worked with the Miss World organization. And actually, before that, I held a fashion show called Fashion Into the Night. That is where I collaborated with my aunt, and we had a brand called Duo Collection. And then I branched off because I started to gain a lot of experience in events planning. I was the coordinator for the Miss World organization, Miss World Guyana's organization, whereby I had to coordinate and put systems in place for the queen, for her coronation or sending her away to her trip across the world. I've worked with queens such as Nuria Gerard, Lisa Punch, Rafi Hussein. And I've gained so much of experience throughout that journey. And I decided, you know what, Natalya, why not challenge your creativity in something greater? And I didn't know much event planner at that time as well. So I decided that I'm going to invest my energies into showcasing my talent.
So which one, event planning or fashion, which one gets more of your attention?
Actually, both, because it goes hand in hand. It's about being creative in every sense.
I see.
So it goes both hand in hand. So for me, both. But like I said, designing actually sparked all of this creativity.
So where do you draw your inspiration?
Wow, that's a really good question. I draw my inspiration from the way, what should I say? I draw my inspiration from my mom because she is, like I said, Selwyn, if you see this young lady, you wouldn't even believe she's my mom. So she's very flamboyant, and you know, she would actually spark ideas into my head, the way she dressed, the way she carries herself. So I would say my inspiration definitely comes from my mom.
Who are some young, and I ask this question because I realize that there are lots of young fashion designers in Guyana doing amazing work. Some of them were at my CWS fifth anniversary. Luther and Moanza Glenn and these guys. So, who are some young fashion designers you admire in Guyana?
Well, definitely, you called the name already. I admire Moanza Glenn. I admire Keisha Edwards. She's really good. I admire Randy Madre. He does really beautiful pattern gowns. Who else? Pearson, House of Pearson. He is amazing. He's an amazing upcoming designer as well. And of course, I can't, Francisco, yes. I think he's an amazing guy too. So all of these guys have so much potential, so much talent, you know, and every time they put out a piece, I'm mind blown.
And you're what?
I'm mind blown.
Oh, you're mind blown. What is your most memorable piece? If
Most memorable piece. That would definitely take me back to 2012, whereby we had to design for Sony Noel I was in both competitions, the model search, which I won, and the designer's portfolio. And we had to create an amazing piece out of flowers, out of palm tree.
Yes.
And I made an entire dress out of palm trees, which won that segment. So I think that is my most memorable piece.
What is it about fashion that appeals to you?
Sorry, I didn't get that
What is it
clearly.
about fashion? What is it about fashion that really appeals to you?
What is it about fashion that appeals to me?
Hmm.
Well, like for me, it's when a woman puts on a piece of clothing and she's able to feel beautiful, she's able to be flamboyant, she's able to feel confident. To me, that is most inspiring and appealing.
I like that. So you let me set this stage for you. You're in a room. You've been asked to speak to several young ladies. Um, they have various aspirations: event planning, fashion designs, modeling. But they're not too certain. They're not confident. They're scared to speak in public. What is some advice you will give them?
Sorry, they're scared to.
Speak in public. They're scared to do public speaking. All right. They're
Oh,
nervous. You know,
well,
make you
Selwyn, I
make you
had
think of anyone?
Selwyn. Actually, you're putting me on the spot there because there was a point of in my life that I was so scared to speak in public.
What?
My heart would be on a racing track. But I would say, practice, practice, practice.
Mhm.
Practice in front of a mirror. You can practice in front of a mirror your speech way in advance, but that is the only thing that is going to help you to become a better public speaker.
If I were to ask you, but let me ask you anyway. What is one important thing you think you? I know there may be many, but one thing that stands out for you that you've learned about yourself in the past. I understand you've been in this business for 5 years, right?
Yes,
Congratulations.
thank you.
What is one thing you've learned about yourself that stands out?
Well, like to be honest, I don't even know where to start with that because I've seen I've done so many things that I didn't even know that I have, the ability to do. So, being creative. I didn't being creative is definitely it. Being a creative
A
person.
creative person. If I were to ask your mother to describe you, what would she say?
Oh my God, she would say the most beautiful things about her daughter. She's gonna say Natalia is beautiful. She's confident. She's persistent. She's dedicated, and the list goes on. And you should have had my mom here.
Good mom. Good mom. So when you first started, what are some of your earlier challenges? As let me be more specific. I You are an entrepreneur,
Yes.
right? What are some of your earlier challenges as an entrepreneur? And then I will ask you as a fashion designer, but as an entrepreneur.
Oh, some of my challenges as an entrepreneur is definitely finances
Hmm.
because as a startup, there's so many systems that you have to put in place, and your business doesn't actually take off till after 2 or 3 years. So finances would definitely be it, and you have to constantly be marketing yourself. So the energy and the time that it takes to put into invest into your business, I would say is a challenge sometimes.
What kept you going, Natalia? When the
What
go
keeps
when
me going?
what no well what kept you going when you first started 5 years ago? What kept you going past the 3 year mark with all the challenges you had?
Purpose, Selwyn. I would say purpose. I believe that we are all placed on this earth for a purpose, and sometimes it's even greater than us. It's beyond beyond ourselves. So I would definitely have to say purpose kept me going.
Mhm. What are you okay with sharing that purpose with us?
Well, purpose. Everybody, everybody has their own particular purpose. Sometimes your purpose is here to, or so, I would say the everybody has their own goals and objectives, and success can be um, can be a perception because my success can definitely vary from your success. So I would have to say that the fact that as a young woman I was searching for myself, and I couldn't find myself until a specific age, I will have to say that's the purpose
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. Um, what do you think frustrates most designers? I can answer that question myself. Money would be the top of the list, but let's forget money. What do you think frustrates most young fashion designers most today?
The fact that they're putting a lot into their work and they're not being noticed. And not just noticed by family or friends, but in by your by your country, by your president, by the people that can put you to a next level. Being noticed, being recognized is one of the I would say difficulties that our young designers are facing. They're not getting that push to go to the next level. So even though they're putting in a lot into their work, their seams are well hemmed. Everything is in order. They're not getting that support locally.
Do you have any recommendation?
I would just say keep trying, keep hoping for the best, keep a positive mentality, be positive about everything. Like I said, the point of maximum danger is the point of minimum fear. God placed all the best things on the other side of terror. So regarding the fact that you will have challenges, you will have downfalls, you will have failures, just get up, dust it off, and just keep going. Keep believing that one day you will be recognized.
Have you ever designed something that afterward you decide I really don't like this anymore?
All the time. All the time. All the time. In my spare time, because my event planning is it's more dominant, I would say, in terms of I would have less spare time with event planning, and I would have some spare time with fashion. So in my spare time I would try to put together some pieces. I'm all hyped about it, and then I hate the piece. So I say, man, let me just shouldn't win.
Do you sew? Do you actually sew, or you?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
you do.
I actually was self-taught.
Really?
Yes.
What does your mom actually say about your designs?
Well, like I said, Talwin, she's like my greatest inspiration. She actually would wear my pieces and then take pictures out and post it on social media. That's how inspiring she is. And due to that, her friends and her friends' friends and all these people at the time when I was started to buy my pieces and then wear it and post it on social media. So that's how I actually started basically.
What do you dislike most about entrepreneurship?
Sorry, I didn't hear that clearly.
What do you dislike most about entrepreneurship? About a
What do I
business? Yeah.
dislike most
Mhm.
about entrepreneurship? Wow, that's a really good question. What do I dislike? Um,
Is it keeping the books? Is it going to after people for
oh,
money?
yes,
Yeah.
okay. It would definitely just sit around in the office and getting work done. I prefer to hire a secretary. It's actually looking for one. I recently hired a secretary because making the phone calls, sending out the emails is not my kind of thing.
So you get a chance to plug on CWS as it is. It's okay. That's fine. We are here to help. So, what is next for Natalia?
Well, Natalia has a lot of things going on for her. I actually did a really great event early this year called Kids Fest 592. That's under my A1 brand. I'm not going to sit down and wait for events to come to me. I'm going to go to it, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I actually established a brand called Kids Fest 592, whereby, kids can actually venture and they can have a whole new experience. We don't have Disneyland here, and we hardly have things for kids, activities for kids. Thus, the reason why our kids are so wayward and they're not growing up as children, but they're growing up as adults. So I wanted to actually create that atmosphere where they can be kids, and for the adults who haven't had a childhood, they can actually come and have a fun time, a fun day. That event was actually last Easter this year,
Mm-hmm.
and it was very successful, I must say. And I'm currently working on another Kids Fest event for Halloween. I'm actually putting together an event called Halloween Carnival, which will be held at the Community Gardens. So I have so much of things on my plate. I have so many creative ideas, and I'm working towards achieving my goals.
You have to pardon my ignorance here, because you mentioned Halloween, and I'm thinking Guyana and Halloween. Do they celebrate Halloween now in Guyana?
Well, like I said, our country is developing. We found oil, and we're adopting most of the first world countries, their culture. So as much as we don't do it in full, there are certain places here, or certain people that are very interested. I love scary movies. I love thrillers. So I mean, I would be excited to attend a Halloween party,
I hear
being
you.
dressed as something scary.
Natalia, I want to thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
I must say thank you for having me. This was
You're
such a fun experience.
you're welcome. Were you nervous? You weren't.
I was, I was so nervous. You know that. And you were just putting me on the spot all the time. But I
No,
said,
man.
Natalia, not today.
No, I
Not
know, I
today.
know, I know Natalia is brilliant. I know she's confident. She's no longer that girl that used to hide and, I don't want to answer this question. I know you are. So, and you did well. You did very well. So, I want to thank you for
Yeah.
having the courage to come on and be or sit
Thank
in
you
your
very much.
magnificence. That's good.
Thank you very much. I must say, I had so much fun. I didn't know Zoom can be so fun.
Well, it is fun. We try to be. Try to be. All right, good. Good night.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Good night to you. Bye.
Bye.
Very nicely done.